What would you do with 120 days? What would you do with 120 days? What would you do with 120 days? 'Cause you've got to live this whole life.
Poem reprise.
You've been trying. I said you've been trying.
Anybody out there trying?
You've been trying.
Anybody out there trying to see things through?
To see things through. What would you do with 120 days? What would you do with 120 days? What would you do with 120 days? 'Cause you gotta live this whole life.
See, the life I had before was full of uncertainty. Clogged like pus formed in a hair follicle, vague like a blurry vision of Michelangelos' greatest work.
What would you do?
Crushed like a smoothie without syrup, broken like a shattered piece of glass on a carpet. Squeamish like a snake slithering through my past and my present and my future. Contained like cookies in a cookie jar. Hidden on a countertop, away from reach. Sloppy like ketchup on a white shirt.
What would you do with 120?
Hidden like a black marker on a black portrait, on a black wall, in a black hole. Forgotten like crumb from a sub, like gristle on a steak.
This whole life, you gotta live this whole life.
Useless like a baby's diaper, tired like the eyes of a 96-year-old, hopeless like the life jacket from a drowned victim, silenced like a muzzle on a lion. And in the back, under the table, unconfrontational, overly apologetic, like a crack addict addicted to a behavior that is addicted to the pain of the pain inflicted by an inflicted person whose inflection was infected with integrated images from prior individual incantations of pain, covered in fits of outward manifestation, projected in this being, stuck like butter on a cheese croissant, moving forward 1 foot in front of the other, but still the other stuck back in 1982, and inch by inch and row by row, but no current in my river to float. In the middle of the Titanic, with no score for my movie, shattered by what could have been, grieving all that was lost. Looking at life through a kaleidoscope of fear, resentment, and misperception, holding this voice back in silence, only to respect the lies, letting lies outweigh truth, respecting lies, consuming lies, and holding my truth to respect the role of fear. But this consistent wandering has allowed me to hit a boulder. A boulder has been hit. A boulder has been hit.
To see things through.
A boulder that would forever shake my world. It is the big in my Big Bang Theory. It cracked open a truth I never would have imagined. It sent a beam of fire in my inmost being and cracked through the pain. It cracked through the pain of a mask that to the world looked like success, and it said, I know your experience, I know your story, I know your pain, I saw your tears, I know when you wanted to end it, I know the abandonment, I know the isolation, I know the loss, I know the story, I know the hardship, I know the lost years, I know the pain, I know the choices. I know a life of longing.
To see things through. What would you do with 120 days?
But there's something else I know.
What would you do with 120
I think there's something else I know.
What would you do with 120 days?
I know it ain't over.
You gotta live this whole.
I know it ain't over.
Life.
It's not over.
You gotta live.
This life is not over. Can you live drastically different? Can you live drastically different. I mean, what would happen if you redirect your focus? What would happen if you had 120 days to begin to live drastically different? What would happen if you cut old ties? What would happen if you did something this year to surprise yourself? What would happen if your yes was yes and your no was no? What would happen if you let truth reign? And what would happen if you forgive life's hardship? What would happen if you received redemption for all the years lost? And what would happen if you only had 120 days? What would you do? Be the person no one expected you to be. Be grateful for the way your pain has allowed you to be a warrior for those who have lost their battle stripes.
What would you do
Wake up.
120 days?
Wake up.
What would you do at 120
Wake up.
days? 'Cause you've got to live this whole life.
Life is
gotta live
just
this whole
beginning.
life.